Hey, you. I hate to tell you this, but you got too many coaches. Yeah, that's right. You got too many coaches. You are learning from entirely too many people. And that's what's causing you to have analysis paralysis. That's what's causing you to overthink things. 1 minute, you believe in this. The next minute, you believe in this. Now, I'm not telling you to drink the Kool-Aid and only entertain one point of view. But at some point, after you have consumed, you have to start taking action on one philosophy. Because if you have too many different philosophies, what this will do is this will confuse you. It will paralyze you because this person that you're learning from is saying go left. The other person that you're saying from is saying go right. And if you're not a master at the game, you're going to let those polarizing ideas stop you dead in your tracks. You don't want to do that. You've been waiting around for too long already. You got to find out what philosophy you're going to subscribe to right now and use that philosophy until you start to see some results. And if you don't see any results, at least you know that philosophy didn't work. But if today you're learning from, let's say, Grant Cardone, and he's telling you that the best way to increase your wealth is to acquire a tremendous amount of commercial debt, not consumer debt, but commercial debt, like real estate. He's telling you, hey, consume a bunch of debt, okay? And then you got somebody else telling you that the best way to increase your wealth is to get out of debt. Those two ideas are going to cause you to have cognitive dissonance. It's going to pull your brain in two different directions and it's going to paralyze you with fear until you are mature enough to entertain different ideas and still draw your own conclusion. You don't need to listen to multiple people with different philosophies because it's just confusing you. Time is ticking. You're running out of time. You're overthinking everything. You're still stuck on first base and you got a bunch of other bases that you need to cover. What are you doing? You have to start stepping up. You have to start standing up inside of yourself. And if you're not willing to stand up inside of yourself, you're just going to pleasure yourself with mental word vomit. You're going to regurgitate things that you have learned. And for a short period of time, that is going to convince you that you actually know what you're talking about. But in reality, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Because if you really knew what you were talking about, you would have the results from the things that you're talking about. But you don't have the results. So you don't know what you're talking about until you have the results. Now, I do believe that you should teach things that you want to manifest, but to position yourself as an authority figure on a particular subject, you would be better at that if you actually got results from the philosophy that you are preaching. That's why I always told people, although I do not go to church, if I did went to church, if I did decide to go to church, I want my pastor to be a rich pastor because a rich pastor would stand a chance of convincing me that God was real more than a poor one. Why? You might say, Robbie, whether you're rich or whether you're poor doesn't have anything to do with believing in God. But if you're trying to sell me on the idea that all things are possible through Christ, I want to see that from a person. I want to learn that from a person that appears to have everything their heart desires rather than somebody that's struggling to put two peanuts together. It's just a fact. It's like going to the gym. If I want to look a certain way, then who am I going to walk over to and ask advice? Is it the guy with the muscles or is it the guy that just looked like he started working out today? I'm going to go ask the guy with the muscles because the one with the muscles has the results. Now, we can get into the specifics about whether or not the person with the results are juicing or not. But that's besides the point. The point that I'm making is you are going to prove yourself right or wrong if you are willing to take action on the information you are consuming, rather than you just consuming information and regurgitating it, making yourself feel as if you've actually accomplished something when you actually have not. The reason why I know that is because I've gone through that myself. I have been the guy that was able to regurgitate information that I had no results from. And so what I did is I had to shut up until I decided that I was going to go inward. And instead of teaching other people what I thought I knew, I was going to brainwash and control my own life, control my own mind, get the results. And when I got the results, then I would go around and start teaching people what I know, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing now. And so I want you to understand that in order for you to get results, you're going to have to take action. And you can read books all day long about doing the perfect push up, but until you do a push up, you're not going to see the results that push ups produce. And you got to be persistent with it. You can't just do it today and then quit tomorrow and say, damn it, I'm not doing any more push ups because I tried it yesterday and I don't see any results. Well, everybody that knows that works out, and anybody that is a natural weightlifter understands that it takes consistency in not only your workout plan but also in your diet. And you need to go on a mental diet, you need to go on an information diet, and only try one diet at a time, because if you try multiple diets at the same time, you won't know which one is working and which one isn't working. And that's the same way information is. Now, you have to be careful with this, because if you go on a information diet and you start learning from one person, then you have to also keep reminding yourself that you're only doing this to experiment. You're not doing this for the rest of your life if you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Because some people can learn from only one book for the rest of their life and believe that that's the only way, if you know what I mean. And so you don't want to get stuck on that as well, but you want to try things. You want to apply, hey, for 6 months, I'm going to just follow this philosophy. For a year, I'm only going to do this philosophy. Or for now, I'm only going to learn from this person. Or I'm only going to learn from this person. Now, what you want to do, if your brain needs stimulation from multiple type of people, what you should do is, when you find a particular teacher that is educating you the way that you like on one subject, then make that your person. But because you are, you like to be mentally stimulated, go and learn from another person, but related to a whole nother industry. In that way, you're learning two different things from two different people, but they are unrelated. You know what I mean? And then you can pull those philosophies together in the middle and whip them up in your own unique way. That's how you get over that. But I'm here to tell you, you're learning from too many people. And that's the thing that I see with people all the time. This person is saying this person is saying this. I've coached people, and people pay me money to coach them, and I'm coaching them, and I'm giving them a strategy, and I'm telling them, hey, I'm not just a coach. I am someone that actually has the results. Not only do I have the results, I'm telling you, I know how to do the thing that I'm telling you to do. So if you do it, okay, then you should see some results. Well, I'll tell them the formula, and the next thing you know, they're talking about somebody else. And I'm like, we're not on that right now. We're doing this right here. So you got to learn from one person, and especially if you are paying a coach. Why pay a coach if you're going to then turn around and go listen to somebody else? Yes, you want to get advice from, multiple people, but you're basically not giving the thing that you are already dedicated to a fair shot, because you're mixing that with other stuff that's coming from other people. And too many opinions related to any subject would only create confusion in the mind of the individual that's trying to make up their mind about what they need to do next. It's Robbie Cornelius, always encouraging you to master your mind and make money online. And if you want more of this really good content, we got a whole free library at webassetgroup.com.